We're back.
We are live. Well, we're not live.
Yeah, it's late. You guys are probably asleep by now. I think we've come up with a solution to the name situation.
I think we have to.
Yeah, I think it should be. I'm Puto.
He's Puto.
Puto. Hey. Make it sound like that. And this is G.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
You going with G?
Yeah, we'll go with G. That's an old nickname from back home.
Puto and G.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Well, since our last excursion into this whole thing, I've kind of laid out a format that I'm hoping works for me. I think we're going to do from here on out, we're going to do the weekend review in news with our own kind of harsh, demonstrative spin on things, right?
I think that's fair.
I was thinking we could break it down like into local, state, federal, maybe even global news, but I always want to end up with celebrity news.
Works for me.
Right?
All right.
You want to start right off with global or local news?
Yeah, let's work our way down the list.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
How about local news? We're in Atlanta. We're in the deep south. We had an arrest on the 19th of January. The night before the inauguration, as it turns out. The Atlanta Deputy Director of International Affairs.
Yeah, that guy.
That woman.
Woman.
Yes, there's a woman.
Oh, I'm thinking of the guy that that entered a plea. He was in Atlanta, or maybe he was a DeKalb official that entered.
Patina Gardner.
Patina
is her name.
That's now the second person I've ever heard with that name. Go ahead.
Patina was evicted from the Hard Rock Cafe on Peachtree Street.
I'm familiar with that place.
Found her way across the street to the Hooters.
Yeah.
Where they refused her entrance. She was denied admittance.
Okay.
In her words, due to racial profiling.
Sounds about right.
It has nothing to do with the loudspeaker, the threats towards the security guards there, as she kept throwing up the name Kasim Reed, who happens to be the mayor of Atlanta.
Yeah.
There's the
who's above the law, by the way, as we
in Atlanta.
Oh yes.
Really?
Oh yeah.
You know about Clayton County? You know about the
what about Clayton County?
Yeah.
Lost. Let's see. Their school system lost their accreditation years ago. I mean, Clayton County's an open.
I'm actually looking for a name here, so if you'll just carry on, I'll just try to figure out what.
Yeah, Kasim Reed and.
Oh yes, Cooper. The name I was looking for. He's the security chief in charge of Kasim's.
Oh, is that the guy that got arrested up in Cobb County for?
Yes, but this is the name that she used to throw in the arresting officer's face for the city of Atlanta.
Oh, that's not going to work.
Oh well. Upon her arrest, she was moved from the city of Atlanta jail to the Fifth Precinct jail, where she showed her tail.
Literally?
She did a few flips. She stripped down to the bare essentials while being handcuffed, and she called the handcuffs slave shackles.
Oh.
By the way.
That's nice.
Sounds like, somebody who believed that George Soros would bail them out, to me.
Okay.
But I mean, these are the Democrats that run the city of Atlanta.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Shirley Franklin wasn't any better, by the way.
I would think
She's a little nicer than
the Deputy Director of International Affairs would be a pretty important job, considering the Atlanta airport is one of the busiest in the world.
It is the busiest in the world.
Which means that she's directing all these international flights
in
and out.
No.
I think this was probably a position that was built because we had the Olympics in '96.
No, I don't know specifically about this position, but Atlanta's called the International City. So they are very.
I never heard that before, but
yeah. I mean,
I'm proud of the title. I mean, I'm glad to be from the International City.
Yeah, it's considered the International City, which is better than like the city of brotherly hate. I mean, brotherly love like filthy Philadelphia or anything like that.
I mean the home state where you're from.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true. I'm from Amish country. I am not from filthy Philly.
Oh, up there in the farmlands.
This is true. In the
where
mountains.
they cultivate the land and they grow plants and weeds and things that are like good for all health, and they can sell them to us at extremely high prices.
That's right.
Okay, well, good.
That's right.
All right. All right. Are we done with
I've been
with
done
Miss
with
Gardner?
I've been done with Atlanta for 11 and a half years now.
Yeah. Well, I grew up in DeKalb County, which has had their own problems.
Which is still Atlanta.
Okay. Well, a little closer to my home, just one county over, the city of Cleveland, Georgia, White County, as it turns out. We had like a catastrophe that happened in the Ingalls parking lot.
Ingalls is a grocery store, by the way.
Ingalls, yes. There you go.
For those of you listening
Southern
in areas that are not
Ingalls.
privy to such horrible little stores.
Well, they have the gas pump outside, and the 3-year-old got loose from mom and kind of darted across a parking lot in front of a
I heard about
third time DUI.
Third time, that's it? Shit.
Well,
Fourth time's a charm, let's go.
Well, I mean, now he's got the 4th DUI and a vehicular homicide of a 3-year-old. And it happens in a podunk town like Cleveland, Georgia, of all things, you know. These are the
Cleveland
things
rocks.
that kind of ruin a local newspaper. Yeah. They've got the...
You know, let's go back to local. We didn't talk about John Lewis and his...
That seems to be like a hot topic for those who really... John Lewis. Remind me.
Okay.
Where am I at? I keep so much shit swirling.
I know. All right, so John Lewis has been a U.S. congressman for... I don't know what the district number is.
From our glorious state.
It is.
This is... All right, so we're moving from local into state.
Yeah, that's
news.
fine. We can do
That'll
state.
work.
All right.
Okay, good deal. Moving on.
So, John Lewis is a congressman from... I don't know what the district number is, but
It's
it doesn't
DeKalb
much
County.
matter. It's DeKalb
It's
County, it's
Gwinnett.
Fulton County.
Yes.
And so basically it comes up through College Park, through the city of Atlanta, up into Buckhead, over in Decatur,
It's
all
the
that
highest
kind of
crime
stuff.
rate district in the city of Atlanta.
Yes, it is.
Metropolitan area.
It is.
And yeah, okay. And what was said?
And so, John Lewis, who's been a congressman, like I said, since 1986, decided to say in an interview that Trump was not, he did not consider Donald Trump a legitimate president.
Oh, yeah. Well, who does?
Well, that's fine,
Right.
but he is. And that's his boss. So, see, Trump's not my boss. So I can say whatever I want about him.
Well, I mean, Trump's really not his boss either. His boss is the governor of the state of Georgia, who's probably the most upstanding, righteous citizen that I've ever heard tell of.
No. John Lewis is a U.S. congressman. So his boss...
so his boss is...
His boss is Mike Pence, whose boss is...
No,
Donald
the
Trump.
head of Congress. Who's that guy?
The president of the
Ron
president?
Paul. Not
No.
Ron Paul. Paul Lewis? Paul? Who the fuck is the guy he goes to?
Doesn't matter. The vice president is the president of the Senate and the Congress.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, well,
So
I'm
that-
glad. Okay, all right. You learn
So-
something every few minutes.
So you
I get
have
it.
the Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan.
That's who I thought his boss was.
Yeah. So that, no, he's like...
Well, he's just like the head negotiator.
kind of.
Okay,
Right,
he's like
right.
the bitch in the bindle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
he's kind of like he's the spokesperson, basically.
Yes.
So anyway, so he says that, and of course Trump, being who Trump is, can't leave anything well enough alone, and
He
so
fires people a
responds.
lot. He fired a
does.
lot of people today.
I know. Oh, yeah.
He
I've
fired
heard.
a lot of directors today.
As he should have. Well, and everybody's all bent out of shape about stuff like that. But what they don't remember is when Clinton took office, he fired all 92
Air
U.S.
traffic
attorneys. No, U.S. attorneys.
Oh, where does
And
the air
then-
traffic controllers bleed in?
Oh, I don't know about air traffic controllers.
Oh, God.
But
We'll find out.
But Bush
Next
43.
episode, folks.
Bush
Yes.
43 did the same thing. Fired all the U.S. attorneys.
Really?
Yeah, all 92 of them.
All of them.
Why not?
It's draining the swamp.
Yeah, sure.
They do this. This is nothing new.
It's not every time, but they have the ability to do so because they're all appointed by the president without confirmation. So why the hell not?
That's truly unfortunate.
So he makes this comment that Trump makes the comment that Lewis should worry about helping the people in his own district,
Yes.
which is heavily crime-ridden and all that. And everybody in Atlanta, and I have a lot of liberal friends, and I love them dearly, and they're all going to, because they all hate Trump anyway.
Well, I'm a liberal.
Yeah, I'm still sitting at this table with you.
Yeah,
and so,
I'm the liberal here.
It's certainly not me.
Yeah,
and so he makes a factually correct statement that there is horrible crime in Congressman Lewis's district. It's factually correct.
okay.
It may not be what
Compared
a
to
president.
Chicago?
No,
Probably
but
not compared to Chicago.
not compared to Chicago.
Okay.
but
But in the state of Georgia,
it's
which is a red state.
it's a very red state.
Yeah, so it's a murder capital in a red state, which you don't find that very often.
Well, I mean, every state's got to have one, right? Philadelphia is the murder capital of Pennsylvania.
If I was going from East Point to the west side, west end, I would consider that to be.
Let me say it like this. I love the Second Amendment. I carry a gun all the time. Every chance I get, I have one. When I roll through Lewis's district,
Yes.
it's not in my hip, it's on my lap.
Okay.
And I'm not
All right.
exaggerating.
Well, this is
you
the
can't roll,
district
you
that
can't
I
roll
grew
down
up in.
Boulevard or Metropolitan without having your head on a swivel.
Well, producer Ann and I took this trip through this district within the last month. It felt like home to me.
Right,
Because this is where I grew up.
Right.
This is
but it's not the same world. that was
I
back then.
tend to disagree. Everything looked exactly the same. Nothing had got any worse. There was no more graffiti in East Atlanta than there was in the early 70s, right? I'll tell you why. Because the gays have moved
Oh, Jesus.
the youths out into the suburbs.
Okay.
Well, as far as I can tell, as far as Atlanta is concerned, that the suburbs are outside of 285 now.
Yes.
Right.
Anything in the perimeter is Atlanta, not.
Yes.
Not. I mean, it's Decatur, it's Emory, it's this, it's that, it's Buckhead, which Buckhead
Nice areas.
Yeah.
All of them are very nice areas.
Well, half of Decatur is nice. The other half is not.
well, the half that is nice is the
very
gay
nice.
section.
It's wait.
Right. It's been reclaimed.
We
by
lovingly
the,
refer to Dick Hater as Dick Hater.
Really?
You never heard of that? Yeah, that's where
No,
all
I
the-
grew up there and I never heard that.
Come on, that's where all the lesbians live. Dick Hater. Really get it?
Oh, okay. Maybe I misunderstood the whole concept of what
Downtown.
gay is. There are ladies who are gay too. Apparently, is this what I'm hearing?
This is news to you?
I never spent no time thinking about it. Right, just the idea that somebody could take a pounding in the ass is disturbing to me. The other side of the whole well, here's how I look at lesbianism: is when you
Lesbianism. Like it's a disease. Oh, Jesus.
well, no,
here we go.
I mean, okay, okay.
You're making my head hurt.
She licks your pussy.
Oh no.
Then what? What happens after that?
I don't know.
That's about
It's
the
not
end
where we're
of it.
going with this conversation.
Well, I mean, Dick Hater. Well, all right, let's talk about the pussy hats that happened this week. Okay, on Saturday.
You're talking about the
follow-
march?
This was the Hillary Clinton victory march that turned into a whole bunch of folks who look a lot like. Well, they're wearing pink hats.
Yeah, I saw the pink hats.
You know, the DC police or some of these other municipality police were videotaped wearing pink hats.
Did you see, speaking of police, did you see what happened to the protesters in Portland?
No, this is going to be awesome.
There's video of it, and I thought I showed it to you. There's video of it. There's protesters, and I'm all for protesting, by the way, as long as you get a fucking permit to assemble and do it legally. And you want to have a march, you need a parade permit for that. So, do it legally, and it's fine. It's your right. That's fine. But you can't affect other people in the process.
Yes.
And so that's what these morons were doing.
Oh, they're in traffic.
And they're not morons for protesting. That's not it. They're morons for trying to block a city bus with their body. Now, if I was the city bus driver, I'd have run the stupid sons of bitches over. I think we should be able to just run those people straight over. But
It didn't happen.
That didn't happen. The city bus driver stopped because he's
a human.
Yeah, he
doesn't want to be a vehicular homicide.
Right.
Or charged with a hate crime.
So, the Portland police in riot gear, you can see the video of them running up the side of the bus and turn the corner, and the protesters see him and they start to scatter, and it is just a beatdown. It looks like the freaking Royal Rumble back from the 90s.
Who's beating who?
The police beat the shit out of these protesters, drag them off the side of the road.
What were they protesting?
It's probably part of that women's.
Oh, so they're beating the shit out of women?
No, these were guys.
Oh, these were.
I don't.
Oh,
one of them.
Okay,
maybe I don't know. But one was a guy for sure. Well, I'd say that.
Well, you know what? They are kind of behind times in Portland, as far as I can tell. Technologically? Yeah. Well, they're so close to Silicon Valley right there that they shouldn't be. Well, I mean, we're not talking. They're not Amish. They're not in the fucking Dark Ages, right? I would. Gates' place is near there. I would assume that they would at least.
He lives up in outside of Seattle, and starts with a K. I don't know. Anyway.
Well, everybody that I've ever remember who came out of Seattle either
kind of hippies.
Yeah, I mean, or grunge rock. It's probably the best thing that ever came out of Seattle.
Yeah, but that died with Nirvana and all of them, and that died in the 90s.
Again, I mean, second episode in a row, I would go see Pearl Jam.
Yeah. Well, they're one of the few that are still alive. And some people, or to still.
You're not a real rock band until somebody dies, and that's
right.
That's for sure.
That's right. Nobody until somebody kills you.
The border chief in charge of Homeland Security.
Okay.
Got fired today.
That's not a surprise. I didn't know that. That's not a surprise. I think we're going to have to do an episode of...
Mark Morgan is out just a few months after taking over the agency as Obama's White House appointee.
Yeah, well, that was coming.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good luck to you, and I wish you all the best.
Best of luck. Maybe Uncle Ted will take over this time. That ought to be fun. We'll have somebody on the show that can speak to that kind of stuff.
Did you see that video I sent you a little while ago about a school teacher?
No. You sent me a video?
I did. I sent you something, or, again.
No, didn't see that.
As it turns out, we have this young teacher.
Oh, is it the one with the teacher shooting the water gun at the picture of Trump's face?
At Dallas, where the Kennedy assassination took place?
Holy fuck. I saw
How about that?
That dumb
what a coincidence.
Bitch. If for nothing else, she should be fired at an absolute minimum.
Oh.
She should lose her teaching license.
Have to worry about. When we get her mugshot, it's going to be because she had sex with another student.
Have you seen some of these women that get arrested for having sex with? And we're not condoning child rape or pornography or anything like that.
Not.
We're talking about. We're talking about
respect for women is it should be top priority,
and it is at least.
I wish I was a feminist. They wouldn't let me become a feminist because I carry balls. But I really tried to join Gloria Steinem about 15 years ago. I really did. I tried my best. I wanted to be a feminist because I understand what you ladies go through. You put up with our shit, first of all. We're not the smartest of the two species, right?
That's
we're not.
Certainly up for debate, but go ahead.
Oh, our claim to fame is that we're better drivers.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Oh, come on.
Oh, I mean, Gloria Steinem was right on every point.
You're gonna have to
when you walk in.
You're gonna have to make yourself available Sunday for my show with Adrian.
When you walk in to an abortion clinic, you should be treated with the utmost in respect.
Sure, I absolutely agree with that.
Right?
Absolutely.
Or if you walk into Planned Parenthood, your care should be number one as far as what's offered to you.
Right. Absolutely. They got defunded this week, though. Trump defunded them on the federal level.
Well, that's still up for. I'll believe it when I see U-Haul trucks out in front of Planned Parenthood.
Yeah, they're not the only. It's not the only funding they get.
No.
And so
there's a whole lot of racist groups that really like to fund the abortion of minority children.
Look, all right.
What happened in your home state?
Specifically? Or?
In Philadelphia.
I don't know. Do you know?
A fellow named Gosnell.
Oh, yeah, that guy. Kermit Gosnell. Yeah. He
looks so much like Morgan Freeman that it's kind of scary. But I mean, it's not Morgan's fault that a hideous beast monster looks like him.
He's a horrible person.
Yes.
Kermit Gosnell, not Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, Morgan
we
Freeman.
We like Morgan Freeman. Feel free to call in. We'll give you the number off the air.
Or not. Abortion clinics have turned into Gosnell, the abortion procedural physician at this particular site, if you want to call it that.
And so this isn't, let's preface this, this isn't recent news, but it's recently become popular.
It's reemerged.
Yes, reemerged is the good word. It was on Bill O'Reilly this week.
Yes.
It was on Fox with something else.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're going to take the animal and you're going to put him like front and center. If it kind of proves your whole point there.
So let's clarify a couple other things. You're the proud liberal of this group, which is kind of disgusting. But I should clarify some things on my side.
I'm not the more religious one, I don't think.
I'm not sure either one of us is religious in any way, shape, or form, but that's not what I was getting at. I am completely pro-choice. So pro-choice, but not pro-abortion. But so pro-choice that I would open abortion clinics. That's how strongly I feel about their right.
Is there going to be a repercussion for an abortion? I mean,
no.
Really?
No.
Really?
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think he's
really. So once you kill another human being, don't you think it's at least fair
Roe versus Wade said
have the tubes tied so that we don't have to go through this fucking procedure again?
Look, you should have to take a fucking test or some shit. Make sure you can afford to take care of the kid and care for it properly.
I would say that an IQ test would be enough.
Well, we can start with that.
If you're just a dumb bitch who gets knocked up month after month and needs 7 fucking abortions, or you need 12 tests on the Maury Povich show in order to prove who the father of your fucking child is.
It's not who it is, it's who it isn't most of the time.
Well,
it's not this 6
I keep waiting to see when I'm going to be tested for this shit.
I have a friend that was on that. If you'd like, I'll bring him on.
I'll tell you what, a qualification for somebody who deserves to be sterilized is anybody who has ever had a relative or a friend on the Jerry Springer show, or you've had to be tested on the Maury Povich show more than 8 times. At that point, there's no question.
If you're a regular,
you're just sterilized.
Yeah.
It really solves the abortion issue because you people who are too stupid to not know what gets you pregnant should not be allowed to be pregnant.
So did China have it right?
In their case, probably.
Population control.
I mean, compared to the Georgia congressman whose post I saw earlier this week. If you have too many people on the continental China and they stand on one side, they could turn the island over.
Well, China's not an island. That's a problem.
Hey, this Guam isn't either. But what the?
No, Guam is actually an island.
You're shitting on my point. There are stupid people.
There are,
and there's a lot of them who shouldn't be allowed to breathe.
I completely agree with that.
I think they should be able to fuck as much as they possibly can. Because it keeps them off the street stealing from other folks.
Hey, I'd be shooting blanks if I could. I know I'm not the person to have kids.
You're 35 years old and can't get an abortion.
Well, I can't get an abortion because I can't get pregnant. There's that problem. You're talking about a vasectomy?
Oh, well, okay. I was under misconception. I was thinking that you had...
What? I had fallopian tubes and a uterus?
Well, I was more admiring your ass than anything else. All right, moving on. So state business is that we have...
Kind of jumped to federal. Let's go back to state.
Chicago. Where are we at?
Chicago? We can talk Chicago. Trump
has decided to send in the National Guard
to fix Chicago if they wouldn't. And I realize how broad that statement is, and I realize how inflammatory that statement is. But 4,400 people have died under the president's watch of the last 8 years.
Yeah.
And I realize people are going to die regardless of who's president and all that kind of
You
stuff.
know who the mayor is.
Yeah.
White House Chief of Staff.
Rahm Emanuel.
Yes.
Rahm Emanuel. Obama's chief of staff for the first half. Or for the first
And this is
term.
Obama's home city.
It is.
Other than Nairobi, Kenya, whatever.
It was in Kenya.
Hawaii state country.
He wasn't born in Hawaii.
Whatever.
If he was born in Hawaii, why would he have filed for federal student aid as a foreign student?
So he could get a discount as a minority?
He was already getting a discount as a minority. He's still black, half black.
Is there not another bonus for being out of country minority?
No, you pay out of state tuition.
Don't you just stack the damn benefits on top of each other? The more lies you tell?
Two separate things. You probably never even went to high school, let alone college. It's two separate things. Your financial aid is separate from all of your grants and everything else, right? So your grants that you get for being African American, Hispanic, or Latino, I'm sorry, left-handed, for all these grants, there's a million grants for a million things. Those are completely separate of federal student aid backed by Sallie Mae. Completely different. So why would you pay out-of-state tuition because you're a foreign person if you didn't have to? Why would you pay 3 times the amount to go to college if you didn't have to? Doesn't make sense.
We just said the same thing. Except I said it with sense, and you said it with a whole bunch of fucking bullshit.
Well, you're going to have to replay your part of it, because I don't think that's...
Well, you're stacking benefit on top of benefit depending on what your skin color is and your country and nationality.
Fine. No, that's fine, but what I'm saying
is... And your
there's
city of birth, and I mean, it doesn't matter what you claim, nobody knows where the fucker's from.
Right.
But nobody.
I know. So
he don't know where he's from.
I know he doesn't. But what I'm trying to say is, he didn't have to... If he wasn't a foreign national, he didn't have to mark that to get benefits. One thing is different completely. 2 buckets.
I do not believe that for a fucking minute.
It's 2 buckets. What the fuck?
I don't believe that for a minute. I think you take both buckets and then you say, well, look at this poor silly son of a bitch, and you cram them together into one bigger bucket.
No, that's not how the system works.
Really?
Yes.
You're going to sit here and tell me how the fucking system works?
I'm telling you how that part of the system works.
Yeah, but you know what? There's a whole lot of paperwork that can be manipulated a whole bunch of ways.
Right.
Like has nothing to do
like birth certificates can be faked. Yep, absolutely.
Like, no shit. There's a whole lot of paperwork that can be fucking faked. Just like, I mean, if I was slick, no, let's not say if I was slick, because I'm not slick.
Nope.
I pay double for every price I fucking pay somehow.
Hard way or no way.
Yeah, we'll do this, yes.
Uh-huh.
I got to enlist to pay my tuition. And didn't do well there. That being said, you're going to get more money the more disabilities you have.
Sure.
This son of a bitch probably turned around and said that he has freckles, therefore...
So he's allergic to sunlight, right? Like,
yes. Yes. You don't find these out during the daylight or what have you. And then, would you consider Chicago a sanctuary city?
I don't know. It probably is. That wouldn't surprise me. A lot of major cities are. Atlanta is not. Miami-Dade County just declared Miami no longer a sanctuary city.
Yes.
The mayor did.
Good.
And he, that was today or yesterday, and he instructed all prison wardens and police and all that to completely comply. Which I think, you know what? You got to be here legally. It's part of the deal. Like, unless you are Native American, everybody immigrated. So, and everybody did it. Once there was rules, those rules, for the most part, were followed. Ellis Island, all that kind of stuff, right? So, I mean, yeah, people slip through the cracks, and people are still going to slip through the cracks.
Ellis Island doesn't even mean anything anymore. We don't have any ships that take immigrants.
No. We're talking about
there.
We're talking 100 years ago. No, we're talking 100 years ago.
Ellis Island is a non-entity anymore. They don't get to see the Statue of Liberty on their way into actually seeing Liberty for their first time.
What do you mean? Don't you remember Perfect Strangers? The entry thing where Balky's on the edge of the ship? You remember that show?
Yeah. He did. But I mean, he came from Russia or
He was
Eastern
not-
Europe. He wasn't
He was
coming
from
to the
Nepos, a
southern
Greek
border.
island. He was from Nepos. He's Balki.
Where the fuck is a Nepos?
Nepos is it was a fake island actually. It wasn't a real thing. But
Okay.
that was the
Well,
backstory of the show
glad
Perfect
we-
Strangers.
I'm clearing that up.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know. I'm a '90s kid. This is what I know. So
Evidently, I had already lost interest in TV by the time this came around. My last show that I actually remember was Alf.
I loved Alf. Alf was awesome.
I don't know
Did
why
you know
there
there
wasn't
was-
more Alf.
It's on Netflix and Hulu.
Is it really?
It's on Hulu for sure.
No
I've
shit.
watched it. Yeah. Did you know that there were two Alfs?
No.
There was a person that played Alf,
Uh-huh.
and then there was a mechanical or a robotic
that's
one.
disappointing.
Right. So, and you can actually tell if you're paying attention.
Yeah.
The differences.
No shit.
Yeah. You can tell.
I don't think I ever saw enough episodes. I've always had a job, which meant that like TV was one of them
I had a
things.
full-time job at 12. Don't give me that bullshit.
Dude, I was roofing houses at fucking 9. Where are we at?
I don't know. We get off.
Sanctuary City.
topic. Sanctuary cities. What's up?
What would you consider to be the sanctuary city?
Probably San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big one.
Are they actually going to lose funding, or is this just like a?
No, I don't think it's bullshit. I think it's absolutely possible. It's not as easy as they make it sound.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't require congressional approval or anything like that. If you remember back into, when was it? The late 60s, early 70s when they changed the drinking age from 18 to 21.
Okay.
Louisiana was the big holdout there.
Was it really?
Yeah, Louisiana was
Good
the big
for them.
holdout. And they wanted us to keep it at 18. And in fact, they said, fuck you, we're keeping it at 18.
Mm-hmm.
And so the president at the time said, fuck you, here goes your federal funding. And they called their bluff. And so they lost their federal funding as a state, as a whole.
The whole state lost
Right.
funding.
Which is, I bring that up because that's an important part of this. Cities losing their federal funding. So when the federal government sends money to the states for the federal programs that they support and blah, 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 or for the state programs that the Fed support, they send large blocks of money to the capital.
Okay.
And then it's dispersed from there.
Yes.
So they don't just get, San Francisco gets $100 million and blah,
So
blah,
really,
blah.
federally, the only thing that can happen is the money is going to flow to the state, depending on the population of the state that they can report or the income.
Well,
or
it's
what
a little
have you.
deeper than that, but yes.
But okay, it's up to the governor how the funds are dispersed,
Kind of.
right?
Right.
So the federal government has to put pressure on the governor in order to kind of say you're not going to fund this chunk of your entire state.
Yes. It's up to the governor. See, I think...
You know who the governor of California is right now?
Jerry Brown, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
I thought we were back in 1979 again. I wasn't really sure what was going on with
we're
that.
reliving that,
Yeah.
right? The whole
Watts
Jane
riots are coming
Fonda and the whole shit. Yeah.
Watts riots are coming. Rodney King shortly thereafter again. Yeah.
Right. Just as a history lesson, just so you don't have to go through this again, the Watts riots happened in '65.
What happened in '84?
That was 94.
94.
Was after that. Was 92 was the Rodney King riots in LA.
All right. What happened in the early '80s? There was a riot of some type in the early '80s. I thought it was Watts riots.
No, Watts riots happened in the 60s.
60s.
Watch the videos and it was in black and white. I mean, it really was.
I believe you.
Okay, I know.
You were there.
Oh, that was the year I was born.
My mom wasn't even born then.
Oh, that is disappointing.
Oh, so back to the Sanctuary City thing.
Yes.
So
Austin, Texas.
is Austin really? I had
Yeah.
such high hopes for Austin.
Well-
I really liked Austin. I think I liked Austin. I've been there.
Yeah, me too.
They do a lot of cool things. They
have a Formula One track.
They have F1 track. Yes.
They have
Yes.
a lot of nice clubs. They have a lot of nice places to
They
eat.
have South by Southwest, the big music festival.
Do you know the only thing that holds Austin, Texas together right now?
Sand.
Alex Jones. Everybody needs to look into Alex Jones.
Who's Alex Jones?
He is the 9/11 conspiracist who says that it had to be an inside job from the get-go. Everybody needs to look into InfoWars and Alex Jones.
Well, I don't know that it was a whole
And
thing.
he's right there in the dead center of Austin, Texas. First of all, Texas wants to join. They want to be the country between the U.S. and Mexico.
It's called seceding from the Union.
There you go.
Okay.
California
doesn't have that ability. It would take a congressional thing and all that.
Good. Damn, I'm learning a bunch.
So the reason Texas wants to secede is because it's in their state constitution and it's in their agreement with the U.S. And every year, basically, they have to re-ratify the fact that they're going to stick with the Union.
Yeah, they're going to stay with it. Okay.
Right. And so Hawaii wants to secede, and California should just fall off into the ocean. And
the lower 46, as I've heard before?
Yeah, I believe that's what I said.
Yeah, maybe lower 45.
Yeah, that'd be fine, too.
Yeah, Florida needs to go away, and California needs to go away. And
so
Texas is worth saving, but we're going to look into Alex Jones.
All right, we can do that.
ASAP.
Okay. And
this is reliable news as far as I can tell. Because the predictions that I read about, the things that I hear...
Alternative facts?
Well, let's say it this way. Let's say when you're taking your reporters, and your reporters are under attack live, on the air, during a presidential inauguration, and there is like bloodshed, and the reporting is live, it's hard to take an alternative news source, take their live footage, and then have the mainstream media turn it back around into alternative truth. What was the term you just used? That's hard to do.
Alternative facts.
Yes.
That's what it is. Alternative facts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's something we're going to hear in the future. Ladies March on Washington.
We're back to this.
4 million people wearing pink.
Good for them.
Good for them.
You know, we saw signs of women. Women should have as much the same rights as guns, which I think is fine. You're no longer allowed on an airplane. Okay.
All right.
You know,
okay,
I mean, we can go on and on and on. I mean, I have a carry permit. Go. I'm fully aware of what I can and can't do with that.
Yeah.
So
going through TSA is going to become a problem.
Right. I have friends that are air marshals.
Check you for your gunt or whatever you have there.
Trump didn't grab you by it already.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, you want to march for something, that's fine. I'm not quite sure what you're marching for. It doesn't make sense.
Well, it was the Hillary Victory March that got soured, sometime in November. And so then it had to turn into, well, fuck, we've already booked reservations. It's the day after the inauguration. All the hotel rooms are surely going to be empty by then, right?
Yeah,
because, I mean, as it turns out, nobody showed up to the inauguration, according to the pictures that the mainstream media puts out.
I would have went.
Really?
Yeah, I would have.
It is a historic event. I
would go to any. I would have gone.
I would have rather went to Obama's inauguration. I think I could have been forgiven for being a white guy had I been there.
Oh, there were plenty of white people there. There were plenty of white people there.
Where?
At his inauguration.
Well, how's that possible? How?
Because he got elected by the vote of the people, which includes white people. I know far more people. Okay, I know far more people that voted for Obama than anybody else.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
It's.
But I mean, these
sad.
people.
They wanted.
Okay, let's just say for an example.
But I don't blame them. They wanted hope and change. They got it. It just wasn't what they were expecting. Nobody understands, and this is going to happen with Trump too. Nobody understands what it's like until they're in there. You can read the books. You can talk to the former presidents, the sitting presidents. It's not the same. You make all these promises that you can't keep. Right?
So, I assume, I mean, at this point, being the liberal, as far as this group goes, I don't believe either side. I think they're both full of shit.
They are. They absolutely are full of shit. But one of these presidents is going to figure it out, and I kind of hope it's Trump.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's no use in reliving the past.
Well, no. One of these presidents is going to figure out how to get the things passed that he needed to get passed, that he promised.
Are they ever? Is he going to be able to figure out how to put more people because this seems to be a real sticking point in this country as far as we're concerned right now, this day.
Okay.
How many people were at Trump's inauguration compared to how many were at fucking Obama's?
Depending, I don't know what the numbers were. 1.4 million.
This means something to somebody.
It doesn't mean shit to me. It doesn't.
I don't understand why Trump seems to think that he really needs to win this number war when it's obvious that he's going to win the fucking war from day one.
What? All right, look. It used to be the number one thing that was required to be president was to be an American citizen, to be a naturally
above
born
35,
citizen. And then above 35,
yes,
right?
Yeah.
All right. So we've done away with that first piece, right? Obviously, after 2 terms of Obama.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
now you just have to be 35. What's the next qualification?
You got to be an American citizen.
That was the first qualification.
So you got to be above 35.
Okay. What's the third qualification?
Forget.
Okay.
Help me.
Okay. The third qualification is you have to have the biggest fucking ego in the room.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I'm ready to run. I'm ready to go. Let's do this. Well, I don't really fuck with Trump.
And that's fine. But look, somebody...
I think his ego is bigger than, like, most people's.
And with good reason.
Yeah, because he's good at what he does.
Just not that. Just given his history. Just given what he's accomplished. And he does all the stuff. He writes books. He does all the stuff. And I'm not... Yes, I voted for Trump. Whatever. That's not the point. I'm not bragging about Trump. But facts are the facts. He's done all these things. He's never... Everybody that's ever told him no... It's been one of those, here, hold my beer, watch this. That's why he's fucking president right now. Why the hell else would a billionaire give up everything to deal with the bullshit that he's dealing with, right? So anyway, back to what I was trying to say is that one of these presidents is going to figure out how to start keeping their promises. And so how do they keep their promise? So they promise something that they know Congress is never going to do, right? And I'm not talking about money or anything like that. But they promise...
Balanced budgets.
Okay, yeah, balanced budgets. And that's something that Congress is never going to do, right? He's not going to approve it, but that doesn't matter. He's not going to approve an unbalanced budget. He's a businessman. He's just not going to do it, right?
Okay.
That doesn't matter. The country is set up to operate without his approval. They operate basically month to month, right?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
For lack of a better term, they go month to month, right?
I guess so. Yeah.
This is how you get around Congress and their bullshit. So Congress would never enact a law or a constitutional amendment that was detrimental to them, right? Because they exempt themselves from everything they ever do.
Right, because it's important that they keep their job.
Of course, because when you work 126 days a year and you get paid a minimum of $174,000 a year, why the hell wouldn't you want to vote for your own pay raise and have your own best interests in mind, not your constituents, right? Because that's what all these people...
Well, yeah.
They're career politicians.
It's easier for me to cover my ass than all them other fuckers.
Sure, and that's fine. And career politicians is a separate issue, but they could do it with that. That's another thing. Term limits. All right, let's say term limits or balanced budgets. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter which one. Trump won how many states?
All of them.
No.
He won enough.
He won
310
right?
fucking, or 307
307 votes. So,
yeah.
So let's just say he won...
all of them.
32.
Let's just say he's president for all of them.
Oh, he is president for all of them. That's not what I'm trying to say.
Let's cut through that bullshit.
No, that's not what I'm trying to say. He's our president, whether you liked him, whether you voted for him, doesn't matter. He's the president. That's not what I'm trying to say.
Right.
If he won 32 states as an example, right? If he needed to get something done, he needs to call these governors. He would get to, he needs to call these governors and get them on board, all 32, or however many he won, and then he needs to find, if he won 32, he needs to find 5 more. He needs 37 governors to back his play. Why? What's the play and why?
He needs 3. It's not 3/4. I don't know. I don't care. Okay.
You should care.
No. How many governors do I need to make a majority?
The majority.
26.
No, it's 3/4.
Okay, I was right to start with.
Right, you're right.
Yeah, I thought too much about it.
So that number's 37.
Guilty as charged, right?
Right. So that number's 37,
yes.
Right? You need 37 governors to have what they call a constitutional convention.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, okay.
Which means they can bypass the House and Senate.
Okay.
And do constitutional amendments.
All right. Yes.
For anything from the fair tax to budget balancing to term limits, all that kind of shit can be done outside of
I think what I
Congress.
did is I blocked off the improbability of certain branches of this useless fucking net. Right?
I can get that.
Right? I
get
just
that.
block it off. I don't even care anymore. It's not even a possibility. If you're going to take a country and you're going to split it 51-49, and I don't give a shit how you do it, but one or the other is in the wrong. To me, the core of the problem is we don't have two parties, right?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, we are beyond time for a third party.
If a small country
beyond.
like Israel can have, more than 12
Well, we have several parties.
Yeah,
they're just not.
they're
But
useless.
it's a two-party system for purposes of the electoral
Donald Trump,
college.
as a true libertarian, has to beat the running libertarian, Gary Johnson, in order to slide into the Republican seat so that he can get backed by the people that he doesn't even agree with in order to win.
Yeah.
He is the true libertarian.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I got sucked into voting for the libertarian candidate, and I didn't realize that the libertarian was in party until the libertarian showed itself on Inauguration Day.
Yeah, Gary Johnson was. I had high hopes for Gary Johnson. I did.
I did not. I just wanted to.
I wanted the third party, and that's what I mean by I had high hopes.
That's what my point was.
Yeah, I wanted the third party.
Yes.
And so from that perspective, I had high hopes for him.
Yes.
For simply even getting one, even winning, carrying one state would have made a difference.
Even been on stage during a debate.
Exactly.
If you know that you have these two spots locked up, why is it so important for this guy to have to fight for the third seat?
Right. It shouldn't matter.
Right.
You could have 12 people on it. It shouldn't matter.
These other two jackasses bought their way onto the fucking stage. Why couldn't he have done the same thing? Because he was the
Absolutely.
other party?
Yeah. No, I'm with you there.
This doesn't make any sense to me.
All right. Look, we're way off topic. Constitutional conventions never happened, and it probably never will. But
and
it's
it
the only
makes
way. It makes plenty of sense, and it's the only way
Hey,
you can ever get shit done.
latest
Let's go
news
move
as far
on.
as Al Qaeda goes.
There's still a thing.
Somali had a truck bombing that killed 28.
I haven't heard about Somalia since we fucking shot down those pirates from the SEAL team.
Which here's the baffling thing to me.
Captain
if
Phillips?
you're talking about
Oh yeah, that too.
Somali pirates,
Yeah, they have the Captain Phillips
You got
thing.
one that's on land and you got one that's in the ocean.
That was a wild shot.
Either way.
In 20-foot swells, that sniper took that guy out through a porthole.
Yeah.
In 20-foot swells.
But as far as the globe goes, Somalia really looks like the opposite end of Chicago on the world map.
Okay.
Right, and on land, you've got the same gunfires you got going on out here in the damn water. So I can't understand for the life of me, if you've got this soft target to where everybody hates everybody and they're all dying violent deaths, what is your point of driving an explosive truck into a goddamn mall in a country that doesn't barely exist?
They want their...
What is their civil war about?
Look, I don't know, man.
What are they fighting for?
I don't know.
They're losing on all ends. You just wasted a bomb.
I think...
Couldn't you have landed that son of a bitch in a place that meant something? You're blowing up Somalia. Why the fuck are you blowing up Somalia? Mogadishu. What is left? After we liquefied them son of a bitches with Black Hawk Down and all that shit, what are you what's left to fight for?
They've had 20 years to rebuild since Black Hawk Down. They've had 20 years to rebuild. It was time to rock that bitch
Do you
again.
really? How much effort do you really think happened during this time? Right? Where are we at with the wall? What's going on with the wall? The wall's happening, apparently.
The wall is going to happen. Whether or not Mexico is going to eventually pay for it is...
They will.
I believe they will, one way or the other.
20% import tax.
Yeah, that'll pay for it pretty quick.
Fucking make sure that happens.
You know, everybody's bitching and crying about, oh, he's going to build a wall, blah, 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 blah. You know, it's going to create American jobs on top of all the tens of thousands of jobs he's already saved.
I'd like being America First liberal.
I'm absolutely America First. We're not going to do the liberal whatever. I'm not a Republican. It's not...
You know, Mexico's president has decided that he will not even meet with Trump because apparently the last meeting that they had went so well that when the son of a bitch realized that Trump actually meant business...
Yeah, he wasn't joking.
Yeah, he said, oh, fuck that.
Yeah,
I'm not even participating.
You know, Mexico has a wall that rivals the Great Wall of China on their southern border against Guatemala. Have you seen that motherfucker?
I have never really seen any of the recruitment videos for the Army of Guatemala.
it's not about the armies. It's about the cartels and shit like that.
No, it's not even about that. It's about separating the fucking ignorant from the retarded. Is what it is. Right?
Still the blind.
Guatemala is, as far as the
we're gonna get some hate mail for this one. Go ahead.
southern border goes. Guatemala is where the stupidest people come from.
Oh Jesus!
Right? Ask any Hispanic from anywhere around the world, and they all make fun of people from Guatemala.
No.
It's kind of like the way I do when I'm talking about people from Dallas, Georgia. Right? These are the dumbest folks.
I live there. I'm not from there.
Well, you're in the neighborhood. It hadn't rubbed off yet, but
It never will.
go to the fucking Walmart, and it'll happen. You won't survive. You will dumb down. Your teeth instantly turn brown. Yeah. CNN.
What about them? Are they still fake news?
I just think they suck. Right. I just don't see where they're worth listening to anymore.
Okay.
Look, let's move past that. Celebrity news.
All right.
I really hate the self-righteous in Hollywood.
Yeah, always
really
have. Me too.
hate it.
Not a fan. Did you see the kid that said "fuck Trump" or whatever he said?
Yes. Whose kid did that turn out to be?
Drew Carey.
You got to be shitting me.
Drew fucking
He is
Carey.
such a talented. Wow.
Hey, they're doing the Fox. They're doing Prices Right at the Fox
That
Theater
was
in
Drew Carey's
March.
child.
Yeah, it's Drew.
I read that a little while ago, and I thought to myself, "This makes perfect sense." All of a sudden.
Drew fucking Carey.
I get it. That's Drew's kid. You know who we lost this week?
Mary Tyler Moore.
Isn't that a shame?
Man, she was.
Hey, she turned on the world with a smile.
Smoking.
Yep. Hey,
Now she's being
Shia
cremated.
LaBeouf.
She's smoking again.
Shia LaBeouf. Yeah, how do I say his name? I can't spell it, apparently.
LaBeouf.
LaBeouf.
LaBeouf?
Okay,
LaBeouf?
yeah,
whatever. It doesn't
whatever.
matter. He's a piece of shit.
Madonna?
Madonna should be fucking arrested.
No, I think she needs to wallow in her own fucking misery.
Yeah,
See,
in a fucking jail
she
cell in
spent her
Leavenworth.
entire-
Leavenworth.
She spent her entire youth trying to sell pussy.
Right.
And then wants to take it away from us now that nobody wants
But
it.
that's the whole feminist thing. They're empowered until they need a man to do something like kill a spider or
she
fucking
is
take
so
the trash out.
useless.
She is absolutely useless. But
Her
look at the people she runs
trashiness
around
says-
with.
just
Look at
goes
the people
back
she
for-
marries. Fucking Guy Ritchie. He's fucking gay. Like
Dennis Rodman?
she's married to Dennis Rodman.
No, she just fucked him for a while.
Yeah, well-
and he's the biggest freak on the planet. So, I mean,
probably has a dick down to his fucking kneecap anyway. I
well,
mean,
there you have it.
Did you see her shave the Nike swoosh in her?
Oh, it was awesome. It was amazing. I wish I had this kind of shaving talent. I would have a goatee.
I'm pretty sure she had somebody do it.
Yeah.
For her.
But
yeah,
that is such a shitty job.
only next to bleaching her ass. Probably,
Hey, but
is
you know
probably the next
what?
worst one.
Hollywood is really not as bad as it turns out
Uh-huh.
because I did see a red light. I heard the most powerful podcast, and Adam Carolla, I'm going to give you the credit again.
Man, will you just go suck his dick and get it over with?
I don't have to. We're the same
No, 'cause,
age, and
yeah.
we understand what it's like to not really.
To not suck dick?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you've been stroking him off last time. You're
Hey, I'm
stroking
learning a
him
lot.
off
I'm doing a podcast because he is a podfather. Dude, we are not worthy. He did an interview that I listened to
fucking worthy.
today. Yeah, I'm not worthy. I've been listening for years.
I'm a genius.
But look, yes. Yeah, you've got it figured out. Leah Remini.
Oh, Scientology.
Yes.
Boy, if they don't kill her ass soon, I'll be fucking absolutely amazed. Not that I
Well-
want her to die, but it's just, Tom Cruise is a passionate dude. Yeah.
Do you know that in his little circle of belief and his handlers and his media people that he's put around himself, he's protected even from his own ex-wife and children. I mean, Suri is separated because
From Katie Holmes.
Katie Holmes actually wanted to save her own child's life.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
He's a nutcase. I mean, this guy is so full of himself that his most recent set of movies, the Jack Reacher series.
Okay.
All right, so I'm a big fan of the book, right?
Okay.
It's written by Lee Child. There's 22 books now.
Well, I tell you what, Leah Remini's book, Troublemaker, is well worth a read.
All right. I will absolutely read it.
It really is worth a read.
I consume many books, so I will certainly read that one.
Troublemaker.
But just real quick about just how much this idiot thinks about himself.
Oh.
The main character in the Reacher books is built more like The Rock. Is
that right?
Yeah, than Tom
So
Cruise.
it should have been Fabio.
So no, but somebody like, I don't know, Ben Affleck. Somebody who's 6'2"-ish and more built.
Yes.
So the real character of Jack Reacher is like 6'5" and like 270 and all built up and stuff like that.
Sure.
Not like The Rock, like a bodybuilder, but
Sure.
but more of that that general size. And so what is Tom Cruise, 5'7" with the lifts in his shoes? Like, he just doesn't... So they shoot him with a bunch of other people, shorter people, so it
Well, let me
doesn't
tell you,
fall in?
and this is a true story. The whole thing makes you wonder about Nicole Kidman, right? Because Tom was also married to Nicole Kidman. My impression about this whole Katie Holmes thing is that she was young. She had a crush on Tom Cruise since she was very, very
I don't blame her.
young.
Yeah, sure.
Right? She gets to marry her childhood idol, which can't make him feel great, which kind of explains the whole couch jumping thing. I love Katie Holmes. This child has been in love with Tom Cruise since she was, 7. She gets to marry
That makes
Tom
him
Cruise.
such a pervert. Anyway, yeah.
But
Same thing happened with Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher. Of course, they're not crazy Scientologists.
Well, and I really seriously doubt, did Kutcher have such a...
Come on, who didn't?
Demi Moore?
Demi Moore. You don't remember that scene where she's topless dancing in the fucking...
Striptease?
That might have been the name
Yeah,
of it.
with Burt Reynolds? That we were talking about just a second ago? Yes.
Yeah, that might have been
in
him.
the ship. Yeah, he's
in the ship.
the greasy guy.
Is he? He's greasy.
With his feet in the greasy cowboy boots.
Yeah. Well, where else would you put cowboy boots?
I never got the whole... I didn't ever get her. Even in G.I. Jane, when she was cut to what... I never got that.
Yeah.
That's beside the point.
Yeah. Sorry. Tangent. Go ahead.
Yeah, Kutcher and more... And it ends up the same way.
It does.
Divorce. Really, in the end, yeah, it all ends up. Everybody
two-thirds of marriages end in divorce nowadays.
Yeah. Oh, she gets sucked in. She knows that Tom is a Scientologist, but she doesn't quite know what it's going to take from her in order to be sucked in by him because he's a high-ranking member.
Of course.
Right. He is the selling point for the entire scam, which was a money grab from the Dianetics days.
Oh, the L. Ron Hubbard, yeah, because of Scientology, Dianetics, yeah. Because this is what happens when an author creates a fucking religion,
an alternative universe.
Well, yeah, there's that
right?
too. Yeah.
Actually,
your boy Will Smith's a Scientologist.
Isn't that sweet?
He is.
I'm such a fan of watching him get thrown in the street on that show that he.
Your home's the Bel Air.
Yeah. Yeah, and that shitty rap. But I mean, all these signs. But Leah Remini, her story is inspiring. I mean, this is a strong woman. When she left Scientology, let me give you just the core of the whole issue. She was a by the book, by the rule Scientologist.
Devout.
Well, she knew the rules. She was the person who read the rules, was up to date in her $330,000 buy-in toward Valhalla, basically. It cost $330,000 to reach the upper levels. Now, Tom Cruise has already spent somewhere in excess of $10 million trying to find the upper levels of the Scientology. But he's so protected that he has no access to the outside world.
So Mormons have that same thing of levels. Not that you have to buy in and spend millions of dollars to do it, but they have that where you got to wear the special underwear and shit like that as you grow in the church.
I'm just now getting into that.
I've got a resident Mormon if we want to get him in on one. He's really cool. He's a good dude. Adam's a good dude.
Being the liberal, I would actually like.
He's a hardcore Republican.
Really?
Yeah, he is a good dude though. Adam's a really, really down to earth, very devout Mormon, and he will gladly discuss.
Well, see, I don't want to argue with nobody.
No, he won't argue with you. He'll explain things.
But I would like to just tell him that, like, if you're a free thinker, when you look at any religion, they're all insane. All of them.
There's a level of crazy that is required.
I don't necessarily need to be hemmed up in the middle of the Mormon versus Muslim war that's coming.
There's not a Mormon versus Muslim war.
How is it not?
What are you talking about?
The Mormons are fucking infidels. They're gonna be executed. They're not ever gonna go to Sharia law.
So are the Jehovah's and all that. We're all infidels. It doesn't matter. Either you're a Muslim or you're not.
So look at it through my free thinking point of view. All of religions are insane.
Right.
Absolutely.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
I didn't.
How many different versions of Christianity are there? How many different versions of the Bible were there? Like, there's a level of insanity to all of it.
That's kind of disappointing, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, look at Catholics, right? They don't believe that there's an Old Testament versus a New Testament, right? Now, first of all, Catholics don't read the Bible at church. Anyway, they read the church bulletins on Sundays. So they don't read the Bible. It doesn't fucking matter. But if you talk to a Catholic person, and I grew up in the Catholic fucking Mecca of this country, right? When's the last time you saw a Catholic church down here? There's very few.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Are you serious? Where's the Catholic Mecca?
Well, I don't know, but it's the vast majority of the Catholic...
in Pennsylvania?
The Northeast, Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, stuff like that. Either you're Catholic or you're not up there.
See, the only people I have ever met in my life that had any assimilation to Catholics at all have been Hispanic.
Yeah. It's heavy in the South American.
It might have one time been a 7-Eleven, but it's now a Catholic church in certain neighborhoods.
And that's fine. Yeah. That's fine. But like the big Catholic churches you'll find up north, there are a couple around here. West Paces Ferry downtown and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? There's some big ones.
You're right.
But they don't believe that there's an Old Testament versus a New Testament.
And the Baptists and Episcopalians kind of split at some point, right?
Yeah.
Are they going to kill each other? Are there infidels of the...
Nah, I don't think so. Cause
is there one side of this deal that really sucks worse than the other? If you're a free thinker and you're thinking, if I have to join a side, am I going to join the side that's going to execute people at random, and especially women? And Gloria Steinem, give me a call.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm still a feminist.
You're the masculine feminist. You know, Jerry Springer did that role for the Married with Children series.
That old tidbit.
Where no man tied his ass up.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. I think what Andrew Dice Clay.
Oh,
I think he wanted to
Hickory
be a feminist.
Dickory Dock.
Yes, yes.
Oh.
He wanted to be a feminist bad. Also.
Man, I saw him when he was doing his tour a couple years ago.
The Omni several years ago.
Jesus,
funny motherfucker.
Hilarious.
Look, let's wrap this thing up.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a whole lot more news in. I've got a whole lot more notes. I kind of overstudied this thing, but you know what? As it turns out, just like last week, I had a good time.
Oh, man, this was a great time. This was a great time. So we are going to shut this week
I think we're
off.
learning a lot.
We are.
Every week it gets better. The dread just kind of filters away. It just kind of seems more and more natural. I think we're going to be able to pull this thing off.
And trying it sober worked better for me. So
that'll never happen in my
That's
case.
fine. That's fine. But
the liberal must be
intoxicated to deal with life.
Oh,
yeah. How sad is that?
I mean, as useless as I turn out, I must be intoxicated.
Poor snowflake.
Yeah.
Poor little snowflake. Let's get you your blanket and your bottle and get you to bed. It's 3:06 in the freaking morning.
Yeah.
All right, folks, let's wrap this up. This is the end of this one. We'll be back next week with a whole nother show. Thank you for listening. See you then.
I hope it's as exciting next week as this week.